Hi, I am Janice Polk with Clarity Based Marketing, and today I have Edna Wilson with Celebrate Real Estate in Titusville, Florida. She is one of my dear clients. I love her, and she agreed to do a recorded work session with me on the One Focus worksheet. So, the One Focus worksheet is designed to help you really focus in on one specific thing for 7 days and just really get as much as you can out of that one focus. So the one focus worksheet gives you the opportunity to organize your activities on that particular focus, and you want to choose a product, a service, a feature, a benefit, maybe a new campaign or a need. And so Edna and I did talk about this a little bit before we jumped on to the recording, and you decided to focus on a need,
Mm-hmm.
and your need is
Google reviews.
Google reviews. Very specific. You know, that's one of the things I love about working with you is that you are very specific about what you're doing. And that's one of the reasons why you're so darn successful in what you do. And you're so good at it because you really know how to focus in on things. And not everybody does that, myself included. You know, it's a challenge. I always say progress, not perfection. But you do a pretty darn good job, girl.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to say any more nice things. Well, yeah, I will. So, Google reviews. So the very first line on the sheet, and I'm going to fill it out. My table is going to bounce around. Sorry. Google reviews. And actually, I'm going to be focusing on the same thing. So I can kind of cheat off of you.
Okay.
So when are we going to start this? So there's a date line. We've got subject of focus. I put in here Google reviews. If you're watching this, this can be anything. You know, if you want to focus on, say, for example, you know, my business, one of the things that we offer is managed outsourcing. So I might want to focus on promoting our managed outsourcing. It could be a feature, a benefit, campaign, whatever. Google reviews is where we're at. When do you want to start this? Because that's what your date's going to be here.
What's my options?
Well, your options are anything. You could start it today, you could start it tomorrow, you could start it Monday, you can start whenever you want.
Here's my question. So this is a true question.
Sure.
So with this being the week that leads up to Christmas, am I better off waiting until after Christmas? Or do you think people are still around and
Valid.
doing?
That's a valid question. It's a very good thing to think about. You know, think about what's happening, you know, in the world in general and how it lines up with what your focus is. Um, I think you're probably okay.
So just do it. So we're just going to do it.
Is next
So
week? Is next week
today's
Christmas?
Tuesday. You know, I gotta be honest with you. I kind of want to start tomorrow. Can I start midweek? Is that allowed?
You can. You absolutely. It's allowed. There's no
Okay, I didn't
rules.
know what the rules were.
There's no rules. Just simple and focused.
Oh, Janice, there's always rules. Always rules.
Drive your own train, girlfriend. I gotta teach you how to drive your own train. All right, so we're gonna start tomorrow,
Yes.
12/16.
Yes.
All right, so that's our date. The date is your start date, 12/16.
Okay.
So the next section is targets. So we've got all of the different places that you may target. And for Google reviews, it's probably going to be, it'll be pretty easy, I think, for us to identify our targets. But I'm also, as I have said 1,500 times, and I'll say it 1,500 more, I'm a real advocate for simple, easy, don't get too strung out about it. So another thing to think about is that a lot of this stuff can be scheduled. And so that's a beautiful thing, especially if you're doing it by yourself. And a lot of people who watch this are probably doing it by themselves. You don't have to do that. So you do some of the things yourself. You have my team do some of it. You have some internal team do some of it. So that's a good thing. So you have a little bit more levity in there. You can really stretch it a little bit. So Facebook business page. Do you want to post about your reviews on your Facebook business page?
Well, so would it be right to do it like asking for reviews there, or do we just want to post the reviews once we get them?
Personally, I would post examples of reviews that you have gotten
Okay.
and rave about it. You know, thank the people who have posted a review, and
Okay, that's
then
easy.
yeah. So I would say yes. I would check off the Facebook business page as one of the places that we're going to promote this. Just knowing that we're not going to ask there, we're simply going to demonstrate that you have them and thank the people who have posted them, in hopes that somebody sees it and goes, oh yeah, I haven't posted a review for her. Let me do that. And we can even structure it in such a way that we say something like, something to the effect of, I'm really focusing on building my Google reviews, and am so thankful that Susie Smith took some time to share her experience with me. I hope that you might do the same, or something along that line, kind of low key, but we can do that. You don't have a Facebook group, so that's something you don't have to worry about. Do you use Facebook stories?
Sometimes.
So you're really good at using your Facebook personal profile to share who you are with your community, which is a great thing to do. A lot of people don't do that. Myself, I didn't do it either until I had a coach really like put her foot down and say, you have to let people know who you are if you're going to connect with your people. And she was right. So since you use your personal profile, then the responsibility is going to be on you to do that on your stories. Yes. But it's a good thing for you to do. So all you have to do is screenshot a nice review and post it in a story. So that, in my opinion, is a good place. So I'm going to check off Facebook stories. Then you have Instagram business page and stories. Are you using Instagram? I should know the answer to that. Shame on me. I am. Okay. All right. Do you want to, personally, I don't think it's necessary. I think it's unnecessary work to use Instagram for this purpose.
Okay. Whatever you think.
So we skip right. I love that. I love that about you.
Whatever you tell
me. You're amazing. See, that's why I love you. You indulge me. So Pinterest, we're going to skip that too, because really on our focus for this is asking. That's really our focus, is asking. So the Facebook business page that we decided to use, the Facebook stories that we decided to use, that's fluff. But we're really focused on asking. So we're going to skip past, we're not going to use LinkedIn, although we are using LinkedIn for You Now business page, but we do that primarily for SEO reasons. Email. Definitely email. So we'll talk in a minute about how that's going to look for email. And then Google My Business, it's not appropriate for a post unless we want to use what we put on the Facebook business page, which is a demonstration of, screenshot of a review you've gotten, and we can do that. And that's something my team will do. So I'll check that off, that we're going to do a post on Google My Business. Phone calls.
So, yeah, because I've been asking for reviews for a long time, and they are rather hard to get. I'm not going to lie; they're kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. So what I don't like about a phone call for this particular thing is that there's no way to like send the link. Maybe it's a phone call then a text, maybe, I don't know. But the link is really the key to getting people to do it. What I find, Janice, is that if I send the review at night, like after 7 with the link, I'm more likely to get it. But even then, like last week, I sent out 6 text messages with the link and a picture of where to leave it.
That's great. And
all 6 said yes, they would do it, but guess how many actually did it? 2.
Sent out 6 and you got 2?
Yeah, but still, I had 6 yeses and only 2 actually followed through.
Did you loop back and remind them or no?
No, because I can't remember who the 6 are. So I probably need to write my plan. Right? You know, I do because I'm a real estate agent, right? So I get so many texts a day. It's just insane. And so I don't remember who they are.
So this is the kind of thing it's really good to have a team member do that for you so they can track it, keep track. Because that's something that I myself have found. You know, I do the same thing. I'd be in the same situation. But if I had one of my team do it, they would be more accountable to it. So I like that. Yeah. Yeah. So let's have a team member do it, send out text messages, keep track of who we sent them to. And if a review hasn't come in 24 hours, send a little nudge text. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, and actually because we use a CRM, we can actually do it through our CRM.
Okay. Okay.
So, and it can actually,
You can send a text through your CRM.
Yeah, we can actually set it up to do automatic reminders.
Nice.
So how many reminders do you think is too many reminders until you feel like, okay, I'm kind of pestering now?
So for me personally, and it's always dangerous, I always preach about how dangerous it is to use your own perspective, because that doesn't necessarily mean that it's everybody's perspective, but from my perspective too. I don't mind being nudged and reminded because I stay so busy that, you know, I forget things. And I always tell people, nudge me, remind me, I'll never be offended. And I'm not. You know, you can nudge me, remind me, and go, hey, 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 what are you doing? But not everybody's like that. So what about you? What is your feeling? How many times do you want to be reminded?
Well, you know, the problem always is that every time someone reminds me, I feel like a failure. I'm like, I should have remembered.
Well, I kind of do that too.
But if I had said yes, you know.
I think a lot of it too is in the approach, you know, like how do you word that reminder?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't done the reminders yet. I've just, you know, so I guess it would look something like saying, thank you so much for saying yes to my request. I don't see it popped up on Google yet.
No, you know what? I think that I would forego the whole, I haven't seen you do it, you know, like,
well, but sometimes
just a thank you.
Pop up.
Say that again?
Like they did it, but maybe they didn't hit send.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes there's technical things to overcome too. So
yeah.
I don't want to accuse them of not doing it when they did it. Maybe they just didn't hit send.
Well, you can always say, you know, thank you so much for agreeing to post a review for me. They're so valuable, and let me know if you need any help, because I know it can be confusing, which is the truth. I'm an advocate for the truth. I like the truth, and that is the truth. So then that way it kind of implies, hey, I haven't seen it. If you're struggling with it, let me know, and I'll get somebody to help you, because I've had to do that before with people to help them see how to get there. And Google doesn't make it easy, in my opinion.
Well, none of them do. I tell you what, Zillow is probably the worst for me as a real estate agent. Yeah. Zillow, because they force you to create an account.
Oh, that's so annoying.
And so that's hard sometimes to get a review on Zillow, which is important to me to have Zillow reviews, but
it is
really difficult.
It is. Really, and you know, and I'll tell you, I'm going to point out real quick that it's really, really important that you focus on one property, because like I've had clients before who would send out emails to their clients and say, hey, I would really love your review if you were happy with your service. And here's my Facebook review link and my Google ad review link and my this link and my that link. And it's
overwhelming.
It is. So focus in on one, and just shoot that. And then next month, focus on another property. And then the next
great
month,
idea.
focus on another. So you definitely are going the right direction. So we're not going to do phone calls, because we don't want to pick up the phone and go, hey, will you go review me on Google? Not saying that you wouldn't, like not saying that would be inappropriate for everyone. I could see myself doing that. I could see myself calling a client, because I need to talk to clients, you know, and I try to take every opportunity to talk to my clients, because a lot of the work that I do is in the background, and right. I don't really get to talk to clients as much as I would like to. So I'd be okay with making a phone call to check in and see how things are going, and then wrap the conversation with a, hey, I'm working on boosting my reviews on Google. And if your clients are primarily business people, then that's a really good approach. Yours are not. Yours are primarily consumer, right?
That's a variety, but yes, but mostly just regular old people.
Yeah, regular old people. All right, so we're gonna not do phone calls, but we are gonna do text messages.
For me, I think in this venue, that's probably my most powerful thing I can do.
Right. So now, all right, and so print ads, obviously we're not going to do print ads, and we're not going to, we already have your review stuff on your website, so we don't have to make any changes to your website. We don't have to add anything there. And so we've got a really simple plan here. So Facebook business page, Facebook stories, which is your personal, you're going to do that. And you're just going to copy basically what we put on the business page. Email, Google My Business, which my team's going to take care of for you, and text messages, which your CRM, so your internal team can handle that for you, right?
Yes.
So now what we have to do is we have to create the content. We have to plan out the content of actually what we're going to say and what we're going to put in the various venues that we've decided, right?
Right.
Good. So we've got Monday through Sunday, and again, always keeping a clear focus, clarity, simple. We need to decide what we're going to put on the Facebook business page. Let's start that first. So every day for the next 7 days, we're going to post something about reviews, just once a day.
Oh my, okay.
You don't have to worry about that because my team's going to do that for you.
This is why I so love having you in my life. Thank you.
Yay. So what we'll do though for the purpose of this training, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my team and we'll actually complete the brainstorming piece of this. And we're going to do a screenshot of 7 different reviews that you have already received. And we're going to put a little blurb with that that says something to the effect of Google reviews are so wonderful. And thank you, Susie Smith, for this great review of your experience. I enjoyed working with you. And then a link to where somebody could go. We're not going to actually ask probably, but I'll brainstorm that with my team. So I'm going to plug that into Monday through Sunday, but what I'm actually going to do is we're going to create all of those posts. And we're going to pre-schedule them. So I don't have to go in every single day and make a post. It's already done. Easy peasy. Work smarter, not harder.
Right.
All right, so that's that. Then you, for your Facebook story, what you can do is, to make it easy for you, is every day when you see that hit on your Facebook business page, screenshot it and post it on your story.
Okay, I can do that.
Easy. All right, so that's Monday through Sunday as well. And if you don't do it every day, it's not the end of the world because that's a fluff piece. All right, email. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Now you already do that when you work with someone, when you finish the job, you have closed a sale, then part of your process is sending them an email. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
And that email contains a lot of different information or just, okay.
So when you become a customer with me, for the very start of when we go under contract, you'll get a series of emails that I have all systematized, and they're actual video emails.
Nice.
Walking you through the process of either buying or selling, depending on which side of the table you're on. And then after the whole transaction is done, I usually give them a couple of weeks because usually you're moving and that's kind of a crazy time in your life.
Yes.
Then they'll get an email from me with a video thanking them so much for being my customer and asking for a review with the links below.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Very nice. That is very nice. And I love that. And I was getting ready to redirect you, and see, I didn't even have to redirect you. You're smarter than I am. It's
No,
so
you look
perfect.
and I don't, so that makes you much smarter than me.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, a lot of people, that's a mistake that people make. It's a mistake that I've made. They try to cram too much information in one thing. So in this, remember, it's one focus. And so you really want to focus on just that one thing. We have a tendency, there's so much that we do, there's so much we bring to the table, and we want everybody to know all these wonderful things about us, which we really get so much more leverage when we focus on one thing at a time.
Yep.
So you're already doing that, and that's great. That's great. So now you're just looping us in to help support you on that. Perfect. Google My Business is also going to be pretty simple for us. My team's going to handle that for you as well. And so we will go and we will just post something in the Google My Business post section. And, you know, we've talked about this before. That is primarily for SEO purposes. Very few people actually look at the posts that you put on Google My Business, but they're still very important because that is one of Google's play toys, and they really love it when you play with their toys.
Google juice, as you like to say.
Google juice, yes. Be friends with Google. Go play with their toys. So we'll take care of that for you. That's a no-brainer for you. You don't have to worry about it. And then the text messages. All right, so we already have established that you send out this email to your clients. So now, so they've already gotten that email. They've already been asked to post a review. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. And we've talked about how hard it is to get people to actually do it. And that's because we live in this crazy, noisy, busy life. And it's not that people don't want to give you reviews. It's that it's kind of a pain in the neck when they're in the middle of doing 15 million things. So we're at text messages now. All of these people have already been asked to do this, but only a small percentage have actually done it. How are you going to identify who you're going to text?
I just kind of make it up as I go.
Okay. Okay. That wasn't the answer. That was not the answer that I was looking for. I love it.
I have a little sticky note that says, ask these people for reviews.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Right on my computer.
So how do you know who has given you a review and who hasn't? Just because you know your people that well?
Well, I only have 12 reviews, so it's kind of easy to just go to Google and look.
Okay. Fair enough. And that's why it's your focus, because it's a need. It's definitely a need. Okay, so that's good. So you already know, and so you're going to get your internal team to handle this. So what we need to do now is craft the message, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to craft a message, an initial message that just says, hey, review me. Maybe a little bit fluffier than that, but we're going to craft that message, and then we're also going to determine how we handle the nudge for those who didn't. So it's going to require that your team member pay attention to who did and who didn't, so they're not reminding people who actually already did, and they're only reminding people who haven't done it yet. And I personally think that the reminder should come at 24 hours and maybe 36 hours and then done. Okay. That's it. You know, do it fast so it's still in their mind. And then if they haven't done it after that second follow-up, then they're not going to do it. We don't want to bug the heck out of them. So there it is. Easy peasy.
Okay.
So we're not going to actually craft the messages here in the work session. Well, because that's going to take us a little bit more time, and we're going to have to go back and forth and, you know, really work the message till it's exactly what we want it to be. But we can use this worksheet to fill that information in, and then we'll give it to my team, we'll give it to your team, and it's done. It's done.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, good.
I like it.
Good. So you like the worksheet?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice, nice. I do too. So my assistant Patricia, who is the director of awesomeness, that's her title now because
I
it
like the
truly
title.
fits her, right? Yeah, she's I asked her, this was just a little brainstorm because I had a couple of people say, so how do I find a focus? What do I do with it? I don't understand. And so we put this together. I was talking to her on the phone driving down the road. I'm like, can you put this worksheet together? She said, yes, yes, I can. So she did. So I'm going to post a link to this. I'll put it somewhere in the group. I'll put it in the Focus Your Promotion group so people can download it. And thank you, Edna, for always indulging me, and everything I ask you to do, you always do it with me, and I appreciate it so much.
Well, I can't say everything.
No? I kind of slid that in. I thought that would, you know, and
I'm not that obedient.
no, you're not. No, you're not. I agree with that 100%. That's okay. That's okay too. You keep me honest. All right. Thank you. If you watched this, I hope it's helpful to you. Thank you, Edna. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you. We're going to do this some more. So I'm going to see you again. I don't know what we'll do next time.
I can't wait.
Thank you. Me too. I'll see you soon.
Bye.